Anyway, Café Anyway. Welcome to Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
3,270-3270. Hello, it is Mike Matthews here at podCastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
In the land of Ameritopica, in podCastro Valley, I'm broadcasting from Café Anyway, and it's kind of sad we might have to deal with something called a Bart apocalypse or Bartpocalypse, because this is what I found in its not good news. I was writing on Bart yesterday.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And this young kid comes up to me with a bunch of forms.
Mike's
and such.
Daily
He
Podcast.
had a petition for me.
Yeah!
A petition for me to sign. He said, "Sir, could you sign this because several BART stops are going to be closed?" I said, "What?" And something about the whole thing sounded fishy, so I just said no. But then I looked it up on my phone, and it's a yes. Unfortunately, the Castro Valley, podCastro Valley, as I like to call it, BART, may be closed because of there are budget shortfalls. What do you call it? The opposite of a windfall. There's not enough money in the coffers in order to keep BART running. BART officials gave initial approval to an emergency doomsday plan that would significantly cut service on the regional rail system. That is the Bay Area Rapid Transit. It is the train system that connects the whole bay, except for the North Bay. They didn't want any part of BART. So it goes underneath the bay to San Francisco, down all the way to the airport, SFO airport. It goes down on the East Bay side all the way practically to San Jose. It goes to Berryessa. And they just finished they spent all this money building that, and now they're saying they're going to take it away from us. It's crazy.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture isn't a BART, but I think I took this after maybe a BART ride. Anyway, it's from podCastro Valley, a beautiful sunset. We had some beautiful lights in the sky the other day. And see it at mikesdailypodcast.com. And there's links to all the other things that have to do with mikesdailypodcast.com or Mike's Daily Podcast, the show. Just add a .com to it, and you can find out anything you want to know at my website there, and I pay for it, so check it out, because I spend something like $300 a month or a year on. The price goes up every year. It's ridiculous. I got to find a better plan for my website, because dang, this is pricey. The late great Basil the Boxer, he's on the website, mikesdailypodcast.com, if you'd like to see a picture of him. He is on there. We have many podcast pictures there. I try to make it as easy to follow as possible. Or you can just go to my Instagram too, which is also Mike's Daily Podcast. But BART officials, they have decided they're going to possibly close up to 15 stations to save money. 15! The BART Board of Directors voted 8-1. That frightens me, that their board of directors, that 8 of them would say yes on this stupid thing. With Director Liz Ames dissenting. Thank you, Liz. To approve an alternative service plan that would see immediate cost reductions starting in January of next year, which will be here before you know. Get ready.
And then all of a sudden, the man behind me leans forward and says, "Hang on to your seat." And he ruined the whole thing for me.
So hang on to your seat. This is good. Thank you, Janine Turner from Northern Exposure. That was her on the show, the podcast Northern Disclosure. She really did not like it when somebody ruined. She went to see Jaws as a young girl, and there's the not Jerry Goldsmith. It was Williams. John Williams did the theme song to Jaws, which actually charted. It got up to, I think, the top 10 of the top 40. I did not realize that until I heard Casey Kasem from that year, his countdown show, the American Top 40. But yeah, so the music was there to frighten you and get you all scared, and the guy leaned forward and said, oh, something's coming. Of course something's going to happen. That's what the music signifies. But back to the music may be playing for this Bart thing. Oh, there's some music there. Here at Café Anyway.
Well, howdy, partner.
Hello.
In the rustic, spacious dining rooms, lounges, and porches, where entertainment is presented each evening.
All here at Café Anyway. Entertainment every evening. This kind of entertainment. Basically, what we need to do is vote, because it has to do with the November ballot measure. And if we vote against it, then it's not going to help, and we're going to lose the Castro Valley BART station. The plan includes a 63% reduction in train service that would entail the elimination of the red and green lines. And I forget where those go, but losing any of the lines is not good, because it's basically one goes from the Richmond area all the way down to San Jose. Another goes from the Pleasanton area all the way to San Francisco or up to Richmond. I don't know how it all works, but here's the big thing that's scary. Oh, look, Winona.
Hi there.
Hi.
This is Winona Ryder.
Hi.
And you're listening to Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thank you.
He's talking to you from Café Anyway.
That's where we are.
Podcastro Valley. I sure could use a cup of coffee. Mike, can I get a cup of coffee?
You get some Café Anyway coffee. I'm your barista. I'm your neighbor. Lend me some sugar. Wait. You're my... How did that part of the song go with the Outcast? And hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. I'm your neighbor. Lend me some sugar. Oh, sorry, Outcast. Can't remember the lyrics. Okay. So they're going to end the daily service at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Ending the daily service for Bart.
Coffee and contemplation. Flow.
I think the board of directors at the Bay Area Rapid Transit needs some more coffee. Maybe I need some more coffee and contemplation. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, in the land of Ameritopica.
I don't understand you people. I mean, all these picky little points you keep bringing up, they don't mean nothing.
Oh, they mean something. Lend me some sugar, I am your neighbor. That's what it is. So under the plan approved by the board, the station closures would happen in June or July of next year, which will happen before you know it. There will be 1,100 layoffs, as well as higher parking fees. And of course, they're going to... Café Anyway, they're going to raise the fare on the trains. Which, by the way, you would think that they're making more money now because they have basically locked down every single station with these massive doors that go from ceiling to floor. Before, they just had the little turnstile thingies with little tiny little gates for gnomes that anybody could jump over. But the floor to ceiling now, they've got the doors. They're these grand, huge Wizard of Oz type doors that they open up for you when you scan. And nobody can jump those. People are still trying to get their way through the emergency door, which they've cracked down on that too. I'm noticing a lot of people not just flying through them like a saloon door. All this door references. How many types of doors are there? Okay. Blast Dora, the Explorer. So Bart is burning through savings, and when they burn through their share of the $590 million state bailout loan that they got approved of, they are going to have to start doing these closures in July of next year. An earlier plan had called for the station closures to start as early as January. The potential reductions represent a massive blow for BART and would reduce the system's ridership significantly for a transit service with a budget that has an over-reliance...
No, that's legit.
A legit over-reliance on fares, they say. Huh? So, question... Isn't that how all train services work? It's how much you pay to the service. But now they're going to get money from the taxpayers, which on one hand, me being a property owner and paying taxes up the wazoo with that, now I'm going to have to pay even more taxes through the roof with the sales taxes, which we already have some of the highest sales taxes in the country. And you know our gas prices are through the roof. And you know Gavin Newsom trying to criticize Trump with, invading Iran and then doing the whole thing saying, hey...
Do you have any safe spaces?
Safe spaces?
Yes, where people can go to get away from the colonialist mentality. As long as there's a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy, we'll be fine.
Basically blaming Trump for the gas prices, which you know what? Love him or hate him, I just cannot stand this blaming presidents for the gas price thing. Because they did it with Clinton. I remember that. And then gas prices all of a sudden went up with Bush, and the same Republicans that were whining about Clinton, they suddenly shut up, and then they were passing around all these things. This is really early internet, so back then they didn't have social media to whine and complain and do their whining with, so they would just send out they'd forward emails to each other. Did you see this? And they would say, look, the same for a gallon of gas. It's actually a gallon of gas is cheaper than a gallon of milk. Huh? Think about that. So George W. Bush isn't bad at all. So here we go.
You are technically correct.
I guess.
The best kind of correct.
But the plan is going to slash revenue by nearly $40 million, though officials say that overall the plan would help to balance the budget. But beyond saving money, officials said that the intent is to give the system time to assess ridership impact and gain experience running vastly reduced service. They better not do it. This story came from Yahoo! News. I am telling you, I take BART once a week. And, by the way, signing a petition is not going to help anything. It's voting, what we do in November. So I know he was also trying to register people to vote.
Wow, that's wild.
Wow, that's wild. Signing a petition, that's not going to change the whole BART policy. It's actually voting. And, of course, also voting with our feet. But, if we're not paying the BART fares, they're going to cut stations anyway because they're not making money. It just goes on and on. They have too much power here in the Bay Area. It's ridiculous. But, okay, what about this? A Triceratops skeleton. It's 66 million years old, and his name is Trey. Oh, it was on the auction block, and apparently last year it fetched $44.6 million. But the bid started...
I can't believe... What the hell is this place anyway?
Café Anyway, thank you, is the question. I guess this year was... The bid started at $5 million. I'm not sure exactly how much it closed in on. It was a 17-foot-long herbivore. Trey was discovered in Wyoming back in 1993. And they're auctioning it off. Let's see. The Burger King is going to deploy Patty. Who is Patty? Patty is an AI chatbot that exists in employees' headsets to help them prep the meals. And what's interesting, somebody's saying hi there to me outside of Café Anyway. Hello there. Oh, that was just some AI. And it's going to help them prep meals. And the monitor is saying, like, you should be more friendly. It says you should say things like, words like please and thank you and welcome
That's
to
enough.
Burger.
Put down the mic.
It's that kind of thing. Does it... When you're talking to a customer and you're working at a Burger King in the drive-thru and all of a sudden Trump's voice comes on and says, that's enough, put down the mic, that would probably really make the employees want to go to a safe space. But that's... and then Apple launched a lower cost iPhone, the 17e, a budget model in the iPhone 17 lineup that starts at $600, comes in below the $800 standard iPhone 17 and the $1,200 Pro phones, if you didn't know. And let's see, did they sell? Oh, I guess they have not sold Trey yet. So it could snag $5 million at the auction, is what they say. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica, look who's here. Hi, Mac! It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
It's Bison Bentley's. Do you know that?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that?
Did you know that I brought my horse Nelly? Hey, Nelly.
And it's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you what.
What?
Do you know that there's all kinds of craziness happening in this world, Mike? And sometimes I think that people just need to calm down. And instead of having all this unrest, we need to have some real rest.
Maybe a little rest and relaxation. Maybe a little recreation. And a recreation of enjoying some traveling. Because it is among the hardest hit today. Airlines and cruise operators saw significant stock declines recently. This was at the beginning of the month. Carnival and Norwegian was down 6 to 7%. United Airlines and Delta down a little bit less, 2%. Rising fuel prices, that posed the biggest threat to profits, not passenger disruption. Oil prices jumped. Well, you know about the oil prices. And there's an increase. That'll be an increase in jet and marine fuel for all these travel type businesses. Major U.S. airlines don't operate many flights to the region being hardest hit by the war. Oh, this is such a happy, relaxing music in today's crazy world. Marlo and the Magic Movie Machine. Well, I don't know if there's a magic movie about flying to Abu Dhabi, Beirut, Dubai, Erbil, Tel Aviv, but flights are apparently going to be impacted. The sharp rise in fuel prices will have the biggest impact on profits. And then also, maybe you want to do a cool movie about skiing, because it's also a tough year for the industry. And then we had warm weather, which caused some issues with the local ski resorts. And it started as a slow start to a record-breaking snow drought. Sierra Mountains have only 68% of normal snow levels. And the skier visits, they are down 20% across all resorts. And then there's the ski school and dining. The revenue is down about 16%. And the operating costs for these ski resorts, there's a record amount of money that is spent on electricity and water for snowmaking. So it's very expensive. Resorts seeking snowmaking bills, their snowmaking bills can cost as much as $3.5 million or more. The ski season in Tahoe generates over $600 million in economic impact. And there's $100 million plus shortfall.
Look, I got to go. A couple of cases of Tylenol fell off a truck, and now I got to figure out how to put autism in them.
Oh,
okay. Well, that sounds.
While you're doing that, maybe you could help out and
good luck with that, sir.
Trying to help with the $100 million plus shortfall for these resorts. So there isn't much of a miracle march happening yet with these resorts. So interesting, I run over to Costco. I guess their earnings. They had a good earnings report recently. I go to Costco and oh my gosh, I did not realize, that Kirkland brand, and they made fun. Jim Gaffigan, he was playing Tim Waltz last year or the year before during the election year, and he was Kamala Harris's vice president pick. Running mate, and Jim Gaffigan would portray Tim Waltz, and he would joke about how he had Kirkland brand jeans or Kirkland brand pants on, which is the Costco type pants that they make. Kirkland is all over Costco. What I did not realize and there's a lot of teamwork involved at Costco.
It's teamwork. It's all about teamwork, and we have to pull together as a team, and if you don't, bad things will happen to your team.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get the feeling our team never even gets off the bus. Well.
And I don't think I own any Costco stock. I'd have to check my 401k, and sometimes in your 401k you're investing in things you don't even know about. But I think they have had some groundbreaking ideals, and I don't know a lot about business. My mom did run a video store for a long time, back when videos were popular, and this is before Blockbuster took over everything and actually basically put her out of business. But then Netflix put Blockbuster out of business, yay, and all the other streaming services. Take that, Blockbuster. But what I find at Costco is that with this Kirkland thing, they use that as a way to keep prices down across the board. So if there's a competing brand that, let's say, sells whatever they have for more than what Kirkland does, Kirkland researches what that brand does and makes it cheaper, and then that forces that brand to either bring their price down, or Costco says, you know what, we don't have to carry you. We always have to carry Kirkland because that's our own brand, so bye-bye, Charmin or whatever it is. So they actually force other brands to bring their prices down. I know that might have some impact with the workers or the town that company sits in, that the competing town, and oh, boo-hoo. But then at the same time, you look at some stores that you walk into, the worst offenders are probably those little corner stores that I know they're trying to stay afloat, and the only way they can do it is hike the prices. But oh my gosh, it's amazing what happens.
Note to
self that Kirkland has done this thing where they bring other prices down because they test everything that they put out, and if people don't buy the product, they just discontinue it. And since it's Costco's own brand, they go, that's it. We're not going to do this anymore. That's what leads to a lot of the time you go, hey, they had it last week. Why don't they have it this week? Where'd it go? They just had this cool thing, and now it's gone. So it's interesting because there are some stores that just hike up prices and hike them and never try and check to keep the prices down low enough for the customers. And I like it that there's at least one business out there that's trying to. I don't know. They could be the evil empire, and they could be digging a hole underneath my property and putting I don't know, some kind of layer down there, and they could, I don't know, this is me trying to be conspiracy theory guy. It's a little weird when I try and go conspiracy theory because my theory makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But that little news story I got from the Weird Food History Channel, that they've done, oh gosh, some great videos on stuff like why are the fries at one particular fast food place better than others. What I've learned from that channel is most of the fast food places that you can thank for making our arteries horrible, filled that they don't work anymore. Like my mouth doesn't work anymore. We have to thank California for that. A lot of fast food places started here in California. I know I'm getting a little bit crazy and insane.
I want to put a disclaimer for a blanket apology for any yelling I might have done. I had some issues to work out.
There I had to do my little bit of yelling. There's Rob Morrow. Everybody knew when Northern Exposure was on the air in the early 90s that he was a bit difficult. But now he owns it. And it's great to listen to that podcast that Kai Alfred Hillig turned me on to, the musician we had on recently. And I listened to his album Release Party, Kai Alfred Hillig, and it's a great album. Oh my gosh. He sent out an invitation. Anybody could attend it. It was on Bandcamp, and there was some great music. He was answering people's questions via the chat box they have there. So I hope you enjoyed my little bit of free speech. We got one more person.
We don't have free speech. then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that.
That's right. Look who's here.
Oh, Mike, I make delicious root beer. Have some right now.
I will. I'm going to take a sip. Oh, so good, because it's not a Kirkland brand. It's your own brand. So...
Yeah, Mike, I don't believe in homogenous corporations taking over products that mom and pops are making and make them bad. I don't approve of that because I make the root beer. Oh, boy!
Well, they do apparently not make things all on their own. They will hire other companies to make the Kirkland brand. So it seems, in the spirit of it, that they are trying to make products that are that we all approve of at a price we all approve of. So I don't know if there's so much into the... What's going on in the basement right now? Is there anarchy?
I don't even know what that means, but I love it.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either, but in the basement, I have a lot of people hanging out thinking that I got rotisserie chickens down there. But they don't make no sense. I don't get it either, Michael. I'm just... drink the root beer, I'll cut you. Oh, boy!
I'll just have another sip. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. And if you would like to call with anything that's on your mind, here's the number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the main frame and hear from A-Frame. You know what? I want to thank you. This is like me thanking you for listening because I put a little effort into it.
Brewmaster.
As you could tell. And I appreciate it. I'm not choking up. That was just me. I was actually choking on some of the root beer, but it wasn't an emotional choking up. But you could see all that on the video, which you can see the video if you go to mikesdailypodcast.com. Take it away, Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast. Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.